White people are surrounded on all sides. The Jewish filmmaker Michael Moore says Jews and Muslims need to band together to oppose their real enemy, white Christians.
White Christian European people.
We saw this same rhetoric from a chief rabbi just 1 month ago at the World Economic Forum Summit, saying that Jews and Muslims have vested interests opposing the beliefs of Europeans. Now, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the French opposition leader, says that he represents the party of replacement, something they used to deny.
De la capacité de nos listes à incarner la nouvelle France, celle du grand remplacement.
American representatives are celebrating that white people are becoming a minority. Charles Barron, a black New York State representative, says he has the honor to say that he lost white population in his community.
I have the distinct honor to be able to come before you and say I actually lost white population in my community.
Gene Wu, the leader of Texas Democrats, a Chinese man born in China, says white people are the minority in the country now and non-whites need to unite to oppose them.
That they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning.
A New York Times writer, Wajahat Ali, a Pakistani man I made a video on, says white people are doomed. They live miserable lives anyways. It'll be better once they are gone.
You have lost. Your story is a shitty story filled with misery.
We saw Anthony Bourdain say the only solution for white people, the best case scenario, is that they no longer exist anymore.
It's a kind of utopia, just the fact that the whole world will mix up with each other, that in, 70, 80 years, there will be no white people anymore and only cappuccino colored people.
But that's the only way. This is the only solution. My way of thinking,
mix up.
it's our only hope.
The left used to deny that white people were becoming minorities in their own nations. Now they openly celebrate it. It's their party platform. Hundreds of journalists, elected officials, business figures, public school teachers, and major public social media figures believe things like this, and they share it.
Welcome to the JJ Carrell Show. And they like it and they share it. Have you noticed the only group of people in the world, but we're going to focus on America because I don't really care about the rest of the world, even though Western Europe is falling or has fallen, they're a dead man walking. I want to focus on America. Have you realized the only group of people that are allowed to be marginalized, demonized, vilified, called vile names, blamed for everything are white people? Anthony Bourdain, may he rest in peace. You're wonderful at cooking, etc., but you're a jackass. You're a completely self-hating white man. What if it was reversed? And the guy sitting where he is the cappuccino-looking guy, and Bourdain saying, you know what? The only solution is more white people. Because white people created the world. The white people gave us language, arts, culture, gave us electricity, the iPhone, and go on and on and on, basically everything in modern world. It came from white Europeans. It came to America. We settled the savages, which I am part of, Blackfeet Indian, and took all the teepees and all of the buffalo, and we created the world that we live in today. And what if Anthony Bourdain said, you know what? Everything is great because white people, we need more white people, but no, he doesn't say that. Why? Because that'd be incredibly racist. He would be destroyed, especially in Hollywood, which all Hollywood are mental patients. And he would be excoriated. But it's okay to sit there and castigate, demonize white people. If I was black and people were attacking black people, I would have a right to say, hold on a second. That's not true. Or if it is true, have the courage to say it is. Like you come to me and say, one of the most vile, one of the most uneducated, one of the most group of people in white culture that are mental patients, that have had so many abortions, so many psychotic drugs, so much everything, that they are a problem. And those are the white women from 30 to 65, 70. Guess what? I'm going to say, yeah, you're right. In fact, I've done shows on it. Yeah, the most damaging, dangerous group of people are white women, Karens, on both sides, Republican, Democrat. They can never do wrong. They're always right. Thus the name Karen. They're never wrong. And they're going to tell you They're not wrong because they've been they grew up in an age where women can be violent, women can say whatever they want to men, and there's no repercussions, so they have no fear of any kind of physicality. So they just run off the mouth like they have diarrhea. So yeah, I'm going to admit, yeah, part of the white race is disgusting, and they need to be put back in their place as fast as they can. But I'm not going to sit here and allow you or anyone to say, JJ, you need to be quiet. You have white privilege, and your white ancestors destroyed things and killed people. Well, yeah, that's called the world. That's called the survival of the fittest. I thought you all believed in evolution and all of that other crap you believe in. America is great because America was founded by white European settlers. You want to go to Nigeria and make that claim? You want to go to India? You want to go to China, Russia? Wherever you want to go, you can make whatever claim you want. But I'm staking the claim on the factual truth that the reason why America became great was because of the white European Christian settlers. And I'm going to make the argument, and I'm going to make it over and over and over again, and I don't care what you think or anyone else thinks. The problem, the decline of America began when we became diluted, when we brought in third world hellscapes, when we brought in third world mental patients, when we brought in third world criminals, and yes, when we brought in tens of millions of medically labeled retarded people from the third world since 1965 to present day. This was strategically, intentionally planned and orchestrated to destroy the United States of America. They could not destroy the nuclear white family. They could not destroy our Christian beliefs. The way they have to destroy it is they import our replacement. This is happening across the globe. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why are, except Russia, Poland, and Hungary, every other white nation being forced to integrate with tens of millions, hundreds of millions of third worlders from the continent of Africa and the Middle East and Central and South America? With the function, South and Central America has the highest IQ of about 82. 80 used to be the marker for retardation. The Middle East average is somewhere in the 68 to 70. Sub-Saharan Africa, they're basically all retarded. They live in grass huts. They have dirt roads. I've been there. I know it. I saw it firsthand. I've been to India. It is a gigantic toilet. Let's just be honest. Over 100 million people defecate on the street every single day. You know something that's the most vile thing? Dog, cow poop, whatever. I can deal with that. Human excrement is so vile, it makes me want to vomit. And yet 100 million people defecate on the nation of India. Their state bird or their nation bird is not a bird. It's just a piece of trash thrown in the air. Wherever it lands, who cares? You know what? The better, if it's a flowing river of garbage, just throw it in the river and just let it go. And now we're beginning to see the fruits of all of our labor of bringing these people into our country. Test scores in education. Massive illiteracy, no ability to add, subtract, divide. Don't even talk about algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. Come on, get real. That's not happening in the inner city. We have illiterate people, absolutely non-functioning people in the millions and millions. And we're all wondering, we're sitting here, I don't understand why. When you have probably 150 different English as a second language in New York City, for example, with dialects that we don't even know existed. So all the money's going to that. You take the Somalians in Minnesota or Ohio, wherever, they're having preschool hours, breakfast, lunch, snacks, after school care. I mean, we're taking care of everything, like everything. And they're having multiple kids. Why do you think your schools are absolutely at the capacity of breaking point? Every time the great Border Patrol chief, Bovino, would go into a city, guess what happened? No one would go to school. So just so you understand, about 25 to 30% of all of your students in your schools, especially in the big cities, are illegal aliens. What if I told you your kid's going to go to school, instead of 30 kids jammed in the classroom on top of each other, I want to bring that down to about 19. Do you think your child's going to learn more? Do you think he's going to be more responsive, get more one-on-one? You think your child's test scores are going to go up? But you keep allowing legal aliens to have a birth rate that's like of rabbits, and they put them in our schools, and then those rabbits go in and they need medicine, right? So let's go to the emergency room, because I'm not paying Obamacare. I'm going to go to the emergency room. Oh, also, I have WIC. I need SNAP. I need Section 8 housing. I need everything. And you dumb white Americans, you better get your ass to work. I play those videos on here where Somalians and other illegal aliens are getting on. They're flashing their money. They're hanging out all day playing video games, having sex so they can have more babies. And then they're telling us, you better get out there and work, white people. We need you to work. We expect you to work to give us our money. And you know what the white people do? We keep doing it. It's almost as if we're self-hating. I showed you the video. That's a longer video that gentleman snapped, a snippet of the gigantic, fat, disgusting Michael Moore, who's Jewish, of course, who says that the Jews and the Muslims need to get together and eradicate the Western white man. Why is that allowed? Why isn't he attacked? What if I said, you know what? All of us Christians got to get together and we need to eradicate the Jews and the Muslims. You would go nuts. And that's what exactly I'm telling you right now. We are a Christian nation founded by white Christians. We need to demand our country goes back to that. And I don't care what you say, because everything that you're going to say to me is nonsensical. You think Japan's going to allow this to happen? Japan's deporting people just violently. They're wrapping them up in sheets. They're called like lettuce wraps. They're literally wrapping them up so they can't run, and they're tossing them out of their country. Why? Because they want Japan to remain Japanese. What about the Mexicans? You know, they're deporting visa overstays, U.S. citizen white people, and they're irate because guess what? White people went into DF, their national capital, and they began to putting up coffee stands, yoga studios, replacing whatever the hell they do in DF for Mexicans, and they went nuts and said they've got to get out of here. And rightfully so. I'm for the Mexicans kicking out the stupid Karens that came down from New York City, etc. You have a right to retain the Mexican culture. Absolutely. I'm 100% supportive of that. So why am I supposed to have to give away my culture, my heritage? Because you find it boring, like that ass hat from India that gentleman played on. I know who he's talking about. He's vile. So our culture, I love this. This is my favorite thing. White people's culture are boring. We didn't do anything. Wait a minute. We have classical music. Wait a minute. Okay, so we have classical music. You people in India are dancing around Bollywood. That's fine. Keep it over there. But I'm boring because I have intact families. I believe in Jesus Christ, and you believe in the Hindu, whatever the hell statue, whatever it is that you believe in. Fine, have it. But don't bring it into my country. I don't want that shit here. I don't want hundreds of thousands of Indian national overstays. I know they're overstays. Here's how it goes. I bring you over on H-1B1 and you work for Sprint or whatever. And then, because I live in Kansas City, and then they get fired or their visa ends. And guess what? Now I got tens of thousands here in Kansas City of Uber drivers that are all Indian. That means they're overstays. They're visa overstays, meaning they're illegal aliens. Our culture is being destroyed. 100 million people that are foreign nationals are living in America. You want to know why we have a housing crisis? You want me to tell you why our infrastructure is breaking? Let me tell you why our highways are congested, our schools are congested? We don't have the proper medical facilities and schools and roadways. You want me to tell you why? Because we have infrastructure built for 350 million people, but it's servicing 450 million. What the hell do you think is going to happen? There has to come a time when we are going to have to rise up. And I'm going to tell you how this is going to play out. No one's going to rise up in the current state because we don't feel the pain yet. And I don't know if that pain is going to be felt in 5 years, 10 years, or 50 years, but somewhere on the timeline is going to be extreme pain. And Americans going to rise up and they're going to purge our nation of foreign nationals. Purge them. I don't believe Donald Trump is the man. I believe he's the man for this specific time, and that time is that time is rapidly evaporating. There will become a time when a man rises up, a powerful, strong, articulate, handsome, but powerful, not swayed by money, sex, anything. He just has a desire for America to be America, and he is going to lay the hammer, and tens of millions of people are going to flock to him. And he will not be benevolent. He will tap into the anger, the resentment, the fear, the trepidation, and ultimately the burning hatred for the people that destroyed this nation. And he is going to turn all that into a boiling pot of hate, and he's going to unleash it. You mark this time down when you watch this. And I may not see it in my lifetime, but it's coming. Will it happen in enough time? There's an argument for that maybe that guy rises up, but then maybe we are such a minority that the minorities that we let into our country, the people that are absolutely dependent on us to provide for them, will have more of them than us and are willing to come together and fight. That is a conversation. That is a discussion to have at a later date, but it is one that is valid. I'm just telling you what I know is going to happen. It's just going to happen. If you have any critical thinking skills, you can just play this out in your mind and think, well, what's the outcome? All the whites in America, to include American blacks and Hispanics, are just going to roll over and let the rest of the world just take everything? Or are they going to rise up and fight? And when they do, or if they do, and when they do, what does that look like? What does history say happens when men gather up and had enough and have a loyalty to each other and have a common goal that drives them? What does history say happens in those nations? History says that there is going to be bloodshed, violence, chaos, and pain and suffering. Do I want it to happen? No. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely. Play this next video for you. And listen to what this man says, because it's right on, spot on. And maybe before I play this, let me make this statement, okay? This is not just my feelings. This is not me being, say, like a liberal, and this is my fantasy, or this is my theory because I'm in some Ivy League school. This is just data. Do I have a personal stake in it? Absolutely. Am I emotional about it? Absolutely. This is my family's life. This is my country's lifeblood. This is my inheritance. This is what I'm supposed to give away to my children, to my child and his children. So yeah, I'm going to fight. Yeah, I'm going to be emotional, but I'm also rational, and I'm very well read and very well researched. So what I'm telling you today is factually true. You may not like me, you may not like what I say or how I say it, but you cannot deny what I'm saying is factually true. We have a declining birth rate in whites. And if you think that is just coincidental, you don't think that it was planned out and strategized and implemented, you're a jackass. Go watch some other show. You're not going to like mine anyway, so just beat it.
White death rates have now surpassed white birth rates. That's in the United States, that's in the UK, Europe, pretty much everywhere. And I don't know if people realize how fast population collapse can really happen. So I'm gonna give you a really graphic example. If you have two parents have one kid, whenever those parents die within 40 years, the population is cut in half. If two parents have two kids, the population stays the same. If two parents have three kids, the population increases. And one reason why it's so impactful on the white community right now that we need to be having kids is because not only is the feminist movement put men against women and they're not dating anymore, they're pushing interracial mixing, they're pushing LGBTQ, transgender, abortion, which leads to no reproduction. We have to have strong, white, big families again, 6, 7, 8 kids, and we need to be putting our people first to make sure that we don't become a minority in our own country, but we are actually a minority on the world stage. We are a global minority, and we need to start having big white families again. It is urgent that we do this. White.
He's absolutely right. It is urgent. We are in a decline. We're about a 1.6 now. That's death. 1.6 replacement. We're death. We've killed at least 25, 30 million of our children, white children. Blacks have killed another 25 million. Hispanics and Asians just probably several million. But whites have killed our own race. Blacks have too. Just killed them. And then we're told women, you don't have kids, don't have a family. Being a housewife is horrible. You need to go. This is the greatest. This is the greatest selling pitch I've ever heard that succeeded. And it goes like this. You don't want the love of your child and your future grandchildren and a happy husband and a beautiful house where you get to stay home, you go do Pilates and work out, you get to clean and cook and have a house that's all yours. Nobody's your boss. You're the boss. No. You need to give all that up. You need to kill your babies in the womb. And then you need to go work for some random dude in some random company. And he's going to tell you when you can leave. He's going to tell you when you're going to be there in the morning. He doesn't love you. He's going to give you no protection. He's do nothing. And I can fire you whenever I want. And then I'm going to tell you when you can leave. And then there's going to be days I'm going to say, I need you to stay later. And then there's the weekends. I'm going to make you work on the weekends sometimes. You have no life. And then all of your eggs are going to dry up. And then when you're 40, 45, you're childless. And women took it. And men took it. And now we have a world where the white women stopped reproducing. You can't make this up. Let's listen to Cory Booker, Spartacus, get angry at a man named Jeremy Carrell, who keeps his cool perfectly, talking about the replacement theory that I have written books about, done documentaries on, and was vilified. And now, lo and behold, everything that I've written about and did documentaries on and write about, oh my gosh, it's true. Isn't that amazing?
What do you mean when you say that you believe in the great replacement theory?
Senator, thank you for that question. This refers to the intentional demographic replacement of Europeans in Europe. It was invented by Renaud Camus, who was a French scholar.
You think there's an active effort to, quote unquote, replace Americans right now?
Senator, I think the Democratic Party, through its immigration policies, has certainly shown signs of that.
And I don't understand that. So you are saying that if more Americans are Black or Latino Americans, that somehow weakens America because it puts whites in a minority.
Yeah, jackass. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, Spartacus. The less whites, the worse your country gets. The more blacks and Hispanics from third world shitholes that are mentally retarded, have no job skills, are illiterate in their own language, don't believe in our God, don't share our same cultural values, have no understanding of republic, and they have no understanding of our founding fathers. Yes, you stupid jackass. We're going to be worse off. Let's play a game, Spartacus, with your crazy ass eyes and your wandering eye. It really freaks me out sometimes when I watch you, and you're such a beta male. You are such a little twit. So let me just play this game with you, sir. Name me one American city, any American city, that is better off today than they were in the 1970s. Go ahead. 1970s, 90% white-ish, 90-ish% white, 10-ish% black, had no Hispanics, hardly any Asians to even quantify. They didn't even quantify them in the census. What was better? America today or America then? Our big cities now or then? Was Detroit in the 1970s in disrepair versus today? Was LA in the 1970s better off than it was today? San Diego? Phoenix, Philadelphia, New York City, Washington, D.C. Dear God, I can go on and on and on. The answer is no. No, America is not better off today than it was 50 years ago. Why? Well, you can come up with a ton of things to talk about, but I'm going to tell you one, the most dominant one. You took white Christians from Western European countries, you diminished their population percentage, and you brought in their replacements from Africa, the Middle East, and continent Africa, Middle East, and Latin America. And you brought in functionally retarded people into our country. You diluted our citizenship, and you have brought America to her knees. Period. It's not a racist statement. That is what's called truth. If I ever agree to go testify in front of Congress again, I need my audience to punch me in the head, kidnap me on the day of my testimony. But if I was to ever have to stand before another moron like Spartacus Booker, I would be aggressive. I would be so aggressive. And I would say, yes, you stupid jackass. And I'm going to go one step further. One day, real soon, a man, a very powerful man, is going to be a leader. And he's going to call on millions of men like me. And he's going to harness our anger, our resentment, our hatred for people like you. And when we gather up and we swear an oath to each other, God, family, and country, we're going to come for men like you. And then we're going to put men like you are going to kneel before us. And you are going to beg us for mercy. And we're going to give you none. That's not a threat. This is just a reality that is going to happen because all of the markers say it's going to happen. We're not going to eradicate these people from our country. We don't have a leader or a will right now. We have allowed the enemy to take positions of authority and power in our houses of Congress. We have illegal aliens as congresswomen. We have people that actually wear another nation's military uniform, the IDF, into the halls of Congress and represent, quote, America. We have people in senators and congressmen that have dual citizenship, have multiple allegiances outside of America. We have allowed the enemy into our gates, and we are all going to pay for this. We are all going to pay for this. And you know what? We all deserve it. I like this. I like playing this next guy, and I don't care if you like him or not. I'm going to put him up. I don't care if you like him or not. Nick Fuentes. I'm going to give, you have to give credit where credit's due, okay? This guy, Nick Fuentes, he's been on the scene for a long time, but very obscure. I would say last 6 months, 9 months, he's came out and he is about Israel, the government, Jews, and white America needing to stand up. And at first he was just eviscerated, called all the names. And then guess what? His speech has now become normalized. His speech is now accepted. His speech is now cheered. Why? Because it's truthful. And as a great friend of mine, a good friend of mine, a great business and somebody that sponsors the show told me, truth doesn't have a different ring, JJ. It is on its own frequency. And when you tap into that frequency, you can't listen to anything else. And she's absolutely right. The frequency of truth is powerful because when you hear it, you know it. God built that inside of us. We know truth and we know lies when we hear it. Tell me where he's not telling you the truth.
In a century, do you know that there will be no Germany, no Italy, no France, no Netherlands, no Belgium, no Spain, no Portugal, no England, no Sweden, no Ireland, no Canada, no Australia, no America? None of it. Gone. All of it. Everything about it. You do understand that, don't you? Replaced by Africans, Asians, Amerindians, Arabs, replaced in our own lands. And they have a front row seat and they are cheering it on. They say it. Ben Shapiro said, I don't give a damn about the browning of America. What do you think that looks like? The browning of America. That means there's going to be no more white people.
Why is that okay? Why is that okay? Huh? Why is that okay that the browning of America and destroying white people? Where the hell did that become okay? Honestly, I want that answered. Listen to this. Listen to Tucker Carlson talk about the browning of our major cities, the destroying of the white man from our major cities. And then as he's telling you that, I want you to think of Spartacus, and I want you to tell me, to answer his question. Well, is this going to be good or bad for America? Well, Spartacus is pretty damn easy question to answer.
Those were the numbers. So here's what they were. The biggest city in the United States then and now is New York City. New York City in 1950 was 90% white. 71 million New Yorkers out of 7.9 million were white. Chicago in 1950 was 86% white. Philadelphia, over 80%. Los Angeles, 94% white. 94% white. That's almost an ethno-state, actually, at that point. Detroit, Michigan, home of Ford, GM, and Chrysler, 84% white. Baltimore, steel and shipping capital of the mid-Atlantic, 76% white. That was 1950. You know people who were alive in 1950. Maybe you were. Here are the numbers today. Baltimore, 27% white. Detroit, about 10% white, down from 84. Los Angeles, again, 94%, about 37% white now. Philadelphia, 36%. Chicago, less than 30%. And New York City, again, the biggest city in the country, is now around 30% white, down from 90% in 1950.
If we do not correct this, we will die. We are already dying, but we will die a slow death. And when that demarcation comes where we whites become the minority, then it's going to be swift and it's going to be horrific. And I want to show you. I always love to do this. Let's play the game of, what do you want to choose? Do you want the browning of America? When they say the browning, we're talking about the importation of all of the Latin American countries, continent Africa, and the Middle East. You really want that? Or would you rather go back to the quote, boring white culture? Let's take a look, and you guys tell me which culture, which culture you want dominating the United States of America.
I just want to catch my fish, drive my truck, drink my beer.
Está escuchando música de Puerto Rico, de los barrios y los caseríos. Ella viene por ahí.
I just want to cut my grass, watch my game, say my prayers.
Yo! ¿Pero qué es esto?
It ain't easy being country.
Bienvenido a la fiesta más grande del mundo. Pa' eso que no, en el perreo no se quita. Tú me se pone bella, me llama si me necesita,
Go ahead, choose. Choose now. I'm not giving you any time. Choose now. You can go for that shit, that dancing around and all that, but you know, they take their best looking women and they show it. That's fine. You want that? You want to live in that shit? Go. Get out of here. Give me the white man singing country music where I can leave my doors unlocked and my car doors unlocked and my windows rolled down. If my wallet drops out of my back pocket, someone's going to come bring it to me with my money still in it. What they don't show you, or they don't want to talk about, is if their countries were so damn great, why did they leave? Why did they get on rafts made out of Chevys with inner tubes and go across shark-infested waters? Why did all the people from Latin America and Mexico will go across the desert with many of them dying, 80% of them, the women and children, being raped? Why would people go from the Middle East from 7,500 miles away to get into our country? I thought all your countries were great. I thought Puerto Rico was amazing. I didn't know that everybody was trying to escape that island. I didn't know that you didn't like over 100 to 200 million piles of human feces in India every day. I thought that was pleasant. I thought you enjoyed it. I didn't know that in Mexico, why you want to leave Mexico? It's so beautiful. It's got all this culture. Why would you want to leave all that greatness where you get dysentery, you don't have clean water, you have no jobs or employment, but you have to come to the stupid gringos that have no culture? Oh, okay, I see. And the Guatemalans and then the sub-Saharan African retards, they got to come in here. Well, why? Your countries are so great. I thought you liked mud huts. I thought you like when it rains, you can't leave because the roads they're disappeared. They turned into rivers. I thought you liked going, as I did when I was on the Amazing Race, to go to the local well. Okay, I want you to listen to what I'm saying. You have to go to the local well to pump your water so you can use it throughout the day. You don't go into your faucet like we do throughout multiple faucets of our house and turn it on and water comes out and I can drink it without getting diarrhea for 5-6 days and then ultimately dying from dehydration. So you may dance around and have big booty Latinas, and you can have your homosexual, the Hispanic homosexuality that they showed in that halftime show. And you can have the flavor food that makes you go to the bathroom immediately after you eat it. It tastes great, but then it flows right through your body because white people can't handle that toxic food. There's a reason why. So give me my pork chops and my steak and my potatoes and my French fries, and I'm happy. My chicken strips, I'm really happy. I really don't need all your other crap because that's the ultimate thing that all the leftists and all the diversity people are going to say, well, they bring great music and food. Well, guess what? You have white people and black people and Hispanic people that are Americans that have high education. And I think we can learn how to cook some third world dishes. And if we want to, we can import the music. We don't have to have them come here, or they can come here with very limited visas and get their third world asses out of here. How about that? But I'm going to tell you right now, I, along with millions and millions and millions of Americans, choose white America. And here's the dirty secret nobody wants to say either. If you go outside the inner city retarded population, and you get outside of the incestuous, the violent Black community and the violent Hispanic communities in the inner cities, and you go out into real America, and you know what they will tell you? Hispanic, I'm not talking about illegal aliens, I'm talking Hispanic Americans and Black Americans, because I know, because the vast majority of my colleagues were not white. And I know because they've told me without me even bringing it up. They just bring it right up to me. And they go, you know what the worst thing that could happen to America? And I'm like, what? Less whites. I remember the first time that someone told me this. Is a man from Puerto Rico told me, an agent, a Border Patrol agent from Puerto Rico. Incredible man, smart, very, very, very smart. Now he's a pilot outside the Border Patrol. Retired from the Border Patrol, is now a pilot. And he told me, it is he called it the Mexican nation. Hispanics coming into America is going to destroy America. I said, really? You think that? He goes, America's great because of white people. We have law and order. We have good drinking water, electricity that goes on all the time. We have abundance of food, meat, anything we want. Everything's regulated. Everything is perfect because of white people. We need more white people and less Hispanics and Blacks. And I heard that over and over and over from Blacks and Hispanics. So don't even start to come tell me, oh, you're just a big, strong white guy and hate everybody. No, I don't hate anybody. I just love my culture. Why can't I keep my culture the way I want it? Why? Did I say eradicate Blacks? No, they were 10% of our population in 1970. They've killed themselves down with no real growth, but they grew 2%. For the total population after killing all their people. They should be about 25% of our population. But they've killed and murdered and aborted their entire race. Whites have done the same, but not to the level of Blacks. I want my culture to stay the same. And that's not racist in any way. It's not. And I won't ask for any kind of apology. No one's going to come to me and say, well, you need to apologize. Okay, I tell you what, go underwater right now and hold your breath until I say I apologize. God. Let me show you what abolishing whiteness looks like. I'm going to throw this up here because you need to see it. This is abolishing whiteness. Well, on the top left, it looks like Calcutta, maybe Cartagena, Mexico absolutely looks like that. It also could be the Middle East. Top right is a hut. That's Tanzania. That's Sub-Saharan Africa. That's the Republic of Mauritania. That's what you want, right? And then on the bottom left is a crazed Muslim that wants to kill every white person and Christian in the world. We definitely want more of that. And then on the bottom right are the people that I arrested on the border throughout my 24-year career, and they are absolute demons. And that's MS-13. It could be the Mexican Mafia, 18th Street. I don't care. Choose it. Choose it. TDA, it's okay. Look at all these guys. They're all about 5'5", 5'4", 5'6", maybe. Maybe the guy in the back is like 5'8". They're about $150 soaking wet. And I used to snap their necks every single day because they are nothing but gutless demons. Gutless. How many? If I got paid every time I had an MS-13 on his knees, handcuffed, crying, literally crying, I would be wealthy. They don't scare me. None of those people scare me. None of them. And I'm telling you, there's millions of men like me that are like, you don't scare me. You have no idea. You stupid, illiterate retards have no ability to even look at history and see what happens when white men come together and just say we've had enough. And then we bring our black brothers and Hispanic brothers in that love America, that love our culture, and they demand America stay the way we are instead of you savages. When we come together, it's over. It's over. It's over. You're done. You're done. and you don't even know it. You're done. I'm gonna post this other one too. I like this. This is 3C. Excuse me, C3 3C. They're on X. They're excellent. It's an excellent account. I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to read it because I don't know if you can really see it all the way, but I'm going to read it. And this is at C_3, C_3. Okay? You just type in C3 and I think it'll pop up. He says, are you sitting down? 1970s USA, white population 87.5%, immigrant households on welfare 6%. Let's go to 2020. White population 61.6%. We lost almost 28% of our population percentage. Immigrants on welfare 59%. It went up 53%. Estimate 2026. Listen to me. That's now. 2026 is now. We're at 57%. 61% of immigrants, household, illegal and legal. And I want you to understand, legal immigrants, it's against the law and they're deportable for taking even a nickel or on welfare. Look at what we've done to our country. So here you go, Spartacus Booker. If I was there, oh dear Lord, if I ever get in front of Congress, and I'm telling you, sir, number one, you are a jackass. You need to get that lazy eye fix. You're freaking me out. But here's the thing. Here's data, sir. Every single time the white population decreases in the percentage of the population, America gets poorer and it becomes less educated, less skilled, and we fall in moral decay. Why is that, sir? Is that because it's more brown people and more black people from the third world? Or is it just because it's coincidence? Why are you, sir, when your party, in collusion with the Republican Party since 1965, brought in our replacement, and when you did it, now you're insulted when I say you're wrong. You brought in all of these third world hellscape people into our country, and you assumed that we would just ignore it and act like, oh, well, it's okay. We always defecated in the streets of America. We always like to go to the local pond and grab the geese and duck and kill them and eat them. We also love to go to our neighbor's house and get their cats and dogs and eat them raw. We love to have rampant STDs and AIDS running through our societies. We love to have incest and have babies that are retarded with crazy ass shaped heads. Yeah, we love that in America. That's our heritage. You didn't know that? That's our heritage. We got rid of all your white plain food and we brought in all of the third world food. Isn't it great? It gives you dysentery. It makes you have violent diarrhea. And sometimes food poisoning, you get to throw up and crap your pants at the same time. It is amazing. Oh, and they have big booty Latinas. They're great. They're wonderful people. No one speaks your language. They mock you in their native tongue. They kill you, rape you, steal your kids, take your jobs, and make you have to work harder to make ends meet in order to get more taxes to give them more welfare. Welcome to the United States of America in 2026. Thank you, Democrats like Cory Booker and Republicans, the gutless piece of trash, Republicans like Pencil Neck Thune. God, Thune has the charisma of a piece of wood. Or the evangelical evangelist, television evangelist Speaker Johnson. You can't make this shit up. I swear to you. My sponsor today, sat123.com. sat123.com/JJ. We have Chris on the show every single week. And we talk about the need to be prepared. Sat phones in order to have constant availability of communication. Faraday packs to put your phones and your wallets in there so people don't steal it, your information. ballistic backpacks for your son and daughter to go to school. Shake my head every time I have to talk about this because it's so insane. I have them as sponsor because it goes hand in glove with what I say every day. You have to become informed. You have to be prepared to take action. And when that bell rings, you need to have your tool belt ready. When I go to work in law enforcement, I better have my gun. I better have my OC spray. I better have my handcuffs. I better have my flashlight. I better have my handcuff keys. I better have my radio. I better have my cell phone. And if I was in the Border Patrol, if I was in the Border Patrol still out in the desert, I would have my sat phone from Sat 123 in my car at all times. All times. Sat123.com/JJ. Sat123.com/JJ. Go to my website, jjcarrell.com, or go to my Substack, jjcarrell.substack.com. That's the best way to support me. Now on to more. What am I going to show you? You know, you get to the point where you're just like, I'm just frustrated. I'm just frustrated. You know, I'm gonna switch gears because I saw this video and I want you to see this video. I'm gonna set it up. I'm put it on the screen, but I want you to, this Epstein thing it's not ending. And as you dive further and further and further into Epstein, you realize without a shadow of a doubt, it's all connected. All of it. Israelis, Jews, the elites, pedophilia, child sex trafficking, satanic, demonic, the destruction of America, using America the whole time as the host for parasites. And one great thing about X is the investigative journalists from the big ones like Tucker Carlson to Ian Carroll to Candace Owens to Shipwreck to Ryan Matta, down to accounts you've never heard of that are digging into these Epstein files and making the dots connected. And I'm going to show you one. I'm going to show you this person's post. And what they did is absolute genius. And I'm starting to see this now as a trend on X, is they're singing. I know at first you're going to think, JG, this is crazy. They're singing with soft music in the background, telling you the story. And it is so powerful. I never even thought about this. It's so powerful, the combination of the videos, the music, and the singing to tell the story. It's a 4-minute and 45-second video. And I'm telling you, it's worth every second of your day to watch this. It is incredible. And you will shake your head when you're done watching it.
I'm curious about the man who figured out how to influence what scientists publish, what children learn in school, and what intelligence agencies can see. And then when he died, his youngest daughter began a sexual blackmail operation with Jeffrey Epstein. And somehow we rarely talk about him. His name was Robert Maxwell, born in Czechoslovakia. Most of his family were killed in the Holocaust. He fled to Britain, spoke 9 languages, worked in intelligence during the war. And by age 30, the FBI had opened a file on him related to foreign intelligence concerns, which is an unusual background for someone later known primarily as a publisher. But I'm learning that a lot of publishers have unusual backgrounds. He founded Pergamon Press and pioneered a system where scientists do the research for free. Write it up for free, peer review it for free, and then universities pay whatever you charge to access it. He launched 700 journals with profit margins around 40% higher than Apple or Google, essentially selling researchers their own work back. To then sold the company to Elsevier for £440 million, and Elsevier is now the largest academic publisher in the world, still operating under that model. Today, 5 companies control over half of all scientific research published globally. In 1969, investigators discovered Pergamon's profits were inflated through transactions between Maxwell's own private companies. The British government declared him unfit and removed him from his board. So he borrowed money, bought Pergamon back, and continued because apparently that's an option. He tried to buy the news of the world but was refused. Rupert Murdoch acquired it instead and later built the Sun and Fox News. Apparently when you become a billionaire, the first thing you do is buy something that controls the narrative. Maxwell bought the Daily Mirror and spent years competing with Murdoch. Then in 1988 he purchased Macmillan Publishing in the United States for $2.6 billion and merged it with McGraw-Hill, creating one of the largest textbook publishers in the country. He did not write the textbooks, but he controlled the infrastructure, deciding what was published, funded, and distributed kindergarten or 12th grade materials and standardized tests that shaped daily education. After Maxwell's death, McGraw-Hill assumed full ownership, and in 2013 it was acquired by Apollo Global Management, a private equity firm founded by Leon Black, who paid Jeffrey Epstein $170 million for tax advice. Epstein had no tax credentials, but sure, a Senate investigation found that money funded Epstein's trafficking operation. Black stepped down and paid $62 million for immunity from related claims. His son Ben was sworn in by J.D. Vance to lead the U.S. Second National Development Finance Corporation, and Apollo's current chief executive Mark Rowan now sits on Trump's board of peace for Gaza, meaning the firm that acquired the textbook company Maxwell built now sits at major policy tables. Maxwell was also linked to the sale of Promise surveillance software, reportedly modified with the back door and sold to governments worldwide. He bought a yacht from the nephew of Adnan Khashoggi, the Saudi arms dealer involved in Iran-Contra, and named it the Lady Ghislaine. In 1989, Donald Trump attended a party on that yacht with Robert and Ghislaine, and Trump's own yacht had been purchased from Khashoggi. At a certain point, these stopped being coincidences. In November 1991, Maxwell fell from the Lady Ghislaine and was later found in the Atlantic. Investigators uncovered that he had taken £400 million from employee pension funds. 32,000 people lost their retirement savings, and he received a state funeral in Jerusalem attended by senior Israeli officials, which is a thing that apparently happens when a book publisher dies. His daughter Isabel later led a technology company connecting Silicon Valley and Israeli intelligence. Christine co-founded a firm that built the FBI's cross-agency search system across CIA and NSA databases, and Ghislaine moved to New York and partnered with Jeffrey Epstein, whose largest financial client later purchased a textbook company her father built. I'm curious who decides today what research you can access and what news you see, because the infrastructure Robert Maxwell built did not disappear, it changed ownership. Follow along as I map how individuals across religions, countries, and political parties seek control of systems, markets, governments, and information to accumulate wealth, and how they cooperate across the divisions we argue about, because the common denominator is not religion or nationality. It is extreme wealth and insulation from consequences. And once you see that pattern, everything changes.
Wow. I watched that at least 5 times. I encourage you to go back there, and you can't, God, you can't believe. You can't begin to truly comprehend how deep all of the corruption is, how incestuous all of the power is, how intertwined the money, the influence is. The major books, go right now. If you have children, go right now and ask your son or daughter, let me see your school books that you brought home. McGraw, Macmillan. The people that are eating children, the people that are sacrificing children, the people that trade children for sexual favors to rape them, write our history books, write our academic. Everything's entwined. Don't you see? Don't you see those same books talk about how bad white people are? The white Christian settlers killed all the Indians, that we're a Judeo-Christian nation. That's a lie. That's 30 years ago. They created it. But you see, Martin Luther King was a hero. Oh, really? All of this stuff, all of it's a lie. Our whole life is a matrix. We live in assimilation. We don't live in any form of truth. None. Our religions have demonized, have vilified, have bastardized Jesus Christ. What is true anymore? What is real anymore? Do you even know? I don't. I know that Jesus Christ was the Lord and Savior, Holy Spirit and his Father, the Trinity. I believe in it. Everything else is a lie.